On today's episode of The Unwritten Rule, we have football, men's basketball, and baseball stuff to talk about for you. A couple of additions on the football and baseball front. Another recruit in the class of 2025 for the Missouri Tigers on the football front, and a couple of transfer additions for baseball. I won't lie, that will be a majority Kenny and Peyton conversation. They are the baseball nuts on this podcast, so I will let them handle that. But plenty to talk about. And then we have another non-con game for men's basketball as well. Fun opponent. And it's kind of funny given our conversation last show where we had some more non-cons to talk about. So schedule's starting to come together for the Tigers on the men's basketball front. Then we got quick hits. We got Ken Sports Shorts, of course, this week. Dirty Bird's going to talk a little baseball, talk a little golf, talk a little NBA. JJ Redick took the Lakers job. And then we've got our headlines, which kind of spans across more baseball and then a little callback to a quick hit from last show that we will get to for all that stuff. But plenty to dive into, fun stuff to start your week for the show. A lot of Mizzou stuff to dive into with more housekeeping, roster assembly, scheduling, all that fun stuff. We'll get you right into it. The Unwritten Rule starts right now.
Marcel, where are you going with that disc? You are not putting that on again. Marcel, okay, if you press that button, you are in very, very big trouble.
Attention. Everybody stop what you're doing. It's time for The Unwritten Rule, a Mizzou sports podcast brought to you by the Believe Network, alongside Peyton Haverman and Kenny Van Doren. Here is your host, Jack Knowlton.
Welcome back to The Unwritten Rule. Today is Monday, June 24th, and it's another day and another commitment for Mizzou football, Peyton and Kenny. The Tigers, fresh off of their official visit weekend at the time you're listening to this, and I think there will hopefully be more news coming out of that as well. They land another commit in the 2025 class, a 3-star wide receiver. You're looking at him on the YouTube if you're watching there. I will tell you his name right now. His name is Shaun Terry. 3-star wide receiver, plays for Ironton High School in Ironton, Ohio, which is just that's a tough high school name, by the way, that aside, but a nice get. Hopefully, it's kind of the spark that lights the fire. We've talked about a lot of high profile wide receivers on this show a couple of times. There's a bunch of guys linked, a bunch of guys who were also on campus this weekend. But Shaun Terry out of Ohio did also have an offer from Arkansas. So owned them on that one. What do we think of the 3-star wideout? Missouri's set. Well, how many commits is this now, Kenny? You pulled it up from earlier. 17?
11.
11? No, I had the wrong number in my head. 11th commit in the class.
Yeah, this wasn't even a guy that was on campus this weekend. Shaun Terry had visited a couple weeks in the past. He was a Notre Dame commit very recently, but that changed. There you see he visited on June 7th officially. There you go. Recruited by Jacob Peeler, of course. But Shaun Terry, you saw the build up there. Obviously, as you guys have pointed out, they're not always accurate, but 5'11", 180. Definitely going to be someone that probably plays more inside, more on the slot. There's a lot of people tweeting out some of his video game level footage of him as well. Very, very shifty. Like Luther Burden level shifty with the ball in his hands. So definitely someone that might thrive in the slot. But like you mentioned, Knowlton, there were a lot of other visitors this weekend on the wide receiver front. There was Javen Boggs, Donovan Olegbode, Corey Sims. Matt Zollers tweeted a photo of him standing with all of them. So pretty there could wind up being quite an influx of wide receiver talent to Mizzou this cycle. We'll see what happens, but Shaun Terry was one that felt like it was building after the decommitment from Notre Dame, and now it finally is locked in.
Yeah, his Twitter says he's 5'10", 170, so maybe he's the one that's a little bit behind on that. It's usually that the Twitter accounts are the ones that are saying they're taller, have a little bit more weight to them. 30 plus offers is what he says, and he has 30 on here. There's a lot of schools that came after him. some on the group of 5 front. It's a couple SEC schools, like Jack mentioned. Arkansas was in that mix. Auburn, Illinois. He had an official visit at Michigan as well. So there are some good schools on here after he decommitted from Notre Dame. And, he doesn't rank as high in the wide receiver class, but you have to fill out that position. And, there's no shots on him as a player. We don't know too much about what the Tigers liked about him as a route runner. But one thing I kept reading is that he's dynamic. So there's a lot of things he can do in the passing game and just on the offense. So it's kind of cool to see him commit now and see what he does this fall and see what he does next season if he's an early enrollee.
Yeah, I mean, rankings change. There's obviously still, kind of a long way to go, even in the 2025 class, and we'll kind of see. It could be, indicative of his improvement if he kind of gets a bump when it comes out later in the summer, a new rankings update into the fall as well. So you never know whether it's a diamond in the rough kind of get, or he ends up rising quite a bit through the rankings. We'll see. But yeah, I think you can never be mad about a commit. And I think you'd be silly to just write off anybody just because they're not a 5-star prospect. So, Shaun Terry, fresh on the radar, kind of a lot of Mizzou fans. Looks like he has some fun film. I think that's plenty for Tigers fans to enjoy before he gets onto campus. There's 11 commits now. He's obviously the latest. Jamarion Morrow was right before him a couple of days ago. The running back out of Memphis, 4 stars. So this team, I think, Kenny, you said they bumped up 1 rank, right, from 29 to 28 with their news. So creeping up the list slowly but surely. And I think, let's just touch on it one more time, Kenny, with this. Who else is there to target kind of this summer from this weekend? Just because this was a huge, kind of OV weekend, and now we head into the dead period where we're fully in commitment season here, with the chance for maybe the Tigers to head into the fall, maybe breaching that top 20. We'll see, obviously, how things shake out. But what are you guys thinking?
Pretty much everyone that visited this weekend, I would say, is probably the primary target at this point. The 3 receivers in particular have just been kind of the one that it seems Mizzou's focusing a lot of attention on. Lamont Rogers, the offensive lineman, he's at one that Mizzou has been kind of heavily linked to. It'd be nice if they could maybe somehow turn around Babaloa or Fasusi, but I wouldn't expect that this deep into the cycle. Those two seem pretty locked in on other places. But yeah, I mean, the class is kind of starting to take shape. It seems like Mizzou is already kind of reaching where they want to finish with this class.
I know we mentioned on Friday that the Wisconsin offensive tackle commit Nolan Davenport was on an official visit. He did post that he was going to make an official visit, and then after a couple days, maybe even like a week after he posted that he was going to be there, he committed to Wisconsin. Kind of heard to the grapevine and reading some stuff that he actually just scratched it. He's a Badger commit. He's holding hard to that. So that was just something I wanted to update that on. I think Peyton kind of hit the nail on the head there. Of the 3 4-star wide receivers we talked about last week, I think you got to get one of them. And having Matt Zollers on campus when they visited is huge. Just having your like prized gem of this class talking to these guys about what they can be in their first few seasons with the Tigers with him at quarterback is pretty good. I mean, they could be catching passes from Aiden Glover, Sam Horn. They could be on the field before Matt Zollers is. So that's just always a good thing to have your quarterback on campus when you have these huge wide receiver targets also there.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I saw Matt Zollers, of course, he was on Twitter and telling everyone, you know what to do. I think it was Javen Boggs who quote tweeted him, with a couple of question marks, because he posted a photo with all those wideouts and was like, you guys know what to do. And so the smoke is being cast, if you will, and Matt Zollers is certainly doing his job as the Tigers QB commit. But I think you guys are right. I mean, it's just, I think, a testament to where this team has come with how good they were last year, and you see the immediate benefit of a great season. It lets you get ahead in the next recruiting cycle. So I think Tigers are doing a great job. We'll keep updating as the summer commitments kind of roll on here. So there's football for you. Another theme of the summer for us, or at least in the last couple weeks, men's basketball front. We have another new game for the Missouri Tigers, and it is a relatively familiar foe. And this is funny because I believe we name dropped this team last show when we were talking about more scheduling, and I think we touched on Mississippi Valley State. And shout out Callum McAndrew and the team at the Columbia Tribune. They put in an open records request and have reported that Missouri's playing Mississippi Valley State, in fact. So our dreams come true. The Delta Devils, the SWAC legend team, the best announcer crew in the SWAC. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look it up. They're coming back to Columbia. They will play Mizzou on November 14th. The game will cost Mizzou $100,000. That seems to be the mark. There's a couple of other of these mid-major teams that they're playing for the same amount of money. Hey, Kenny, you know what I'm about to do. Mizzou is 2-0 all time against Mississippi Valley State, aside from the game in 2022. When was the last time these two teams played?
I already looked it up. I was looking it up to ask you that question.
Yeah, you got a little too predictable there.
Yeah, I was
hoping you guys would like kind of indulge. I figured you know it was coming at this point.
I don't know, Kenny. When was it?
I want you to guess.
Yeah, guess.
Try your hand at it. Maybe try the score too.
Jeez. Let's go 2008 with the Missouri win 94-68.
So close, Peyton. These two teams last played before 2022 in Columbia. The score actually was very similar. I can't quite remember wait, actually I have it in front of me. Hold on. So 2022, Missouri won 83-62. They played on January 6th, 1986, and Mizzou won 81-67 over Mississippi Valley State.
I got the 68 part almost. I almost got 60.
Yeah, you were really close. All right, I have a bonus trivia for you. In the 83-62 win in 2022 against the Delta Devils, which two Missouri Tigers were co-leading scorers with 18 points apiece?
That's a good question. I was at that game. I don't think I could tell you much about it other than the fact that Mississippi Valley was held together by one player for like 10 minutes.
I covered that game, and I still probably couldn't tell you what happened.
The co-leading scorers. I'm going to say Des Moines. Des Moines lit up non-con, I remember.
Okay.
And I'll say it almost feels too easy for it to be Kobe.
It's not.
So I'll go Golston. Golston and Hodge.
Okay. You guess Golston and Hodge. You got 1 out of 2. Kenny, do you have a guess?
I know who it is. I was looking at the same thing you were.
All right. Well, don't say it. It was Des Moines Hodge, and off the bench, 20 minutes, 18 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, and a pair of blocks. Also had 5 turnovers. Isaiah Mosley was the other leading scorer.
Oh.
I knew that would get the reaction that it did from
You guys don't understand. That team was really good. They could have been really good if Isaiah Mosley was on the court. It's so sad to think about.
Other stats. Kobe Brown, 32 minutes, 9 points, and 6 rebounds. Only shot 4 for 7 from the field. Did not have a great outing.
I think Dennis, if I remember correctly, Dennis kind of called him out for being a little too passive after this game. I feel like I remember that. But
friend of the program, Ben Sternberg, played 1 minute and got a rebound.
Nice.
Yeah. But I feel like I remember that post-game press conference. I remember this was like right before Thanksgiving break, so nobody was there.
Mm-hmm.
That team received a vote for the AP poll.
Yep, they did.
That's right. Missouri Valley State did. Mississippi Valley State did.
The reporter got fired.
What happened to the reporter after that?
Yep. Unrelated reasons. The Delta Devils in that game, by the way, Peyton, the name you're looking for is Terry Collins. He had 27 points.
That's right. Manager. The Mets manager name. That's right.
Oh, yeah. Good connection.
What is he up
to?
Mizzou.
Probably
retired.
No, Terry. No, the basketball player.
Oh.
I don't know where Terry Collins is now. He is not on Mississippi Valley State anymore. But yeah, November. What did I say? November 14th. This season, the Delta Devils coming back.
Whatever it is, let's hope it goes better than Mizzou's November matchup with a SWAC team last season.
It's a very good point. It's a very good
An
point.
indirect blessing of going 0-19 in SEC play is that everybody forgot Mizzou lost to Jackson State. Everybody on earth. Nobody talks about
Best
that.
0-5 team in the country.
Best 0-5 team in the country.
If anybody's curious how that Jackson State team finished, I have it pulled up. They went 15-17 and lost in the first round of the SWAC conference tournament.
To Mississippi Valley State?
No, they lost to Texas Southern.
Yeah.
That was a team Missouri lost to.
Yep. Yeah, not a great year last year. Well, hopefully it bounces back this time against the Delta Devils. Non-con games, we'll run through it again, even though I know I did it last show. November 4th at Memphis, November 11th versus Eastern Washington, November 14th versus Mississippi Valley State, November 27th versus Lindenwood, December 3rd versus Cal, December 22nd versus Illinois and St. Louis, and then TBD on the games between Minnesota and Kansas. The Tiger, I don't know if we've mentioned this. Oh, also TBD on the game against Pacific. That doesn't have a date yet. And then I don't think we mentioned this either. There are reports that Missouri is going to participate in the Hall of Fame Classic in Kansas City, which would see them play 2 games in that event, multi-team event. That leaves them with 2 open non-conference games.
Who said this? That's fire.
It was in this article by Callum McAndrew. Did you not read our friend of the program?
No, I didn't read through it. I only
Article?
saw the Mississippi Valley thing.
Unbelievable.
Boo.
Click the X. You don't have to do it.
Oh.
Go down. I think there's something about.
Oh, there it is.
That's-
Missouri is under. Oh wait, no, that's to play Kansas in the border
So
war.
it's more down. It's closer to the bottom. Go back up.
I think he made this up.
Multiple
I didn't.
team
It says
event.
because he's no. Go back up. Go back
Oh.
up. It
Control
mentions
F
the
Type in
do
Kansas
Command
City.
F and do Hall of Fame Classic. This is good podcasting.
Hall of Fame Classic.
There you go. So they play 2 games, but they don't know who those are against.
Play 2 games in the Hall of Fame. Well, that's the one that
That was Seton
Arkansas
Hall,
and
wasn't it?
Illinois are in, right? I think it is.
Yes, because that's on Thanksgiving, and I believe this is in around Thanksgiving too.
Likely held near Thanksgiving.
But I don't think they wouldn't play. I mean,
Interesting.
they play both those
Well,
teams.
obviously
right?
they wouldn't play those 2, but look at that.
Just last
Last
year's
year they had. Oh wow, what a lineup there!
That is a gross assortment of teams.
It's
Boston
Boston College,
College.
Colorado State, Creighton, Loyola, Chicago. For those that aren't watching on the YouTube,
That's-
The College Basketball Hall of Fame in Kansas City is very cool. I recommend people go through it.
Eh.
What was the Seton Hall game in Kansas City last year?
Missouri got beat by Seton Hall in Kansas City. That's all it was.
It was just a neutral site.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
this is
was
one
a
of those
bad game.
NTs. What do you guys think of this? There's the tournament in Vegas that's for NIL money. Like they're actually giving that. Would you guys want Missouri to do that?
No, I kind of hate that. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. I really don't like that NIL is just straight up on the line. Keep that behind closed doors.
I haven't heard that take play. That's a refreshing take on it.
Like we all know it happens, but I'd like to just not think about. Oh, these kids are playing for NIL money in a Hall of Fame Classic or whatever.
You don't want a tournament for prize money like the in season in the NBA?
Not particularly.
All right.
Not really.
Fair enough. Kenny, you have a take? NIL tournament?
it just sounds like it's the TBT. It doesn't sound like college basketball anymore.
Yeah.
Ouch. Very anti-NIL tournaments. All right. Hopefully Missouri doesn't do
Well,
that.
yeah, the players deserve it. Yes, yeah. I don't want to be
The
taking the wrong
players
way.
should be
Players deserve
paid.
money.
No, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
But
not trying to.
I don't
I'm not
like
trying
it
to.
being
No,
for
no, no.
NIL.
I think it's a very valid opinion. I just I have not heard like too much against it. It'll be interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to watch. But I don't hate the take of just like let's keep it behind closed doors. Because also these November tournaments, I mean, teams are so different in March versus November, and to put more pressure on them like that. But it is a way to get the edge in recruiting. Get some extra NIL to your coffers. But Dennis has had no problem with that, at least so far. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Except
But
for last
anyway,
year's portal recruitment for
well,
whatever
yeah,
reason.
we're gonna choose to forget that. It'll be forgotten with wins over Mississippi Valley State and others. Yeah. Anyway, Hall of Fame classes in Kansas City. The Tigers might play in it. Final thing, we have more roster movement. We're going to talk some baseball, or rather, Peyton and Kenny are going to talk some baseball because Missouri landed 2 transfers. Guys, how do you want me to introduce them? You want me to rattle off both, or do you want to talk about one at a time? We got Pierre Seals and Sean Barnett. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Can talk about Pierre Seals. He's on the screen here. So.
All right, Pierre Seals on the YouTube from Memphis. What is Carrick Jackson getting in his former player? Used to coach him? No.
He did not play under. He did not play under Carrick Jackson at Memphis. Might have been recruited by him. He was there, part of that 2024 team. That was when Carrick was with the Tigers or back in Columbia. Good numbers though in the American. Played in 54 games, posted a 989 OPS. Hit north of 300. I like the 31 walks to 63 strikeouts. It's a pretty good number right there. Maybe cut down some of those strikeouts, but looks like he's pretty nimble on the base paths too. He stole 16 bases, got caught 6 times, but overall the numbers look good there. Maybe a good speed guy in the outfield.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, Kenny kind of touched on it all there. Definitely good walk numbers. You would definitely. I kind of don't love that many strikeouts against the American. So that'll probably be something he has a bit of an issue with in the SEC, I'd presume. But Mizzou did lose a couple of outfielders. I know Jackson Beeman was kind of a big name that entered the portal for them. So they had to replace something. Pierre Seals, obviously, maybe not coached explicitly on the field by. He didn't play in 2023. So, I mean, maybe he was hurt, and I can't really speculate to that.
He was playing. He was with the community college. He was at JUCO level.
Okay, then that makes more sense. So yeah, not with Carrick Jackson, but it's in territory Carrick Jackson is familiar with. Obviously, he probably knows what could translate. So could wind up being a very good addition for them.
Okay.
He was at Dyersburg State Community College.
Oh, of course.
He batted 294 with 8 homers, 36 ribbies, 31 runs, 7 stolen bases in 44 games.
And he got better at Memphis. How about that?
He was the number 27 overall prospect in the state of Tennessee, number 5 outfielder in the 2021 class.
Very nice.
Sounds like a good ad. And then talk about the other one. I believe an outfielder as well, too, Sean Barnett.
Yes.
Yeah. Coming over from Wingate, played 3 seasons there. Has a year of summer ball under his belt too. I wonder if he'll do that again this summer. I think the numbers would already be in if he's already playing summer ball. So maybe he's not doing that this year. But I was looking this up yesterday. I was doing some research on him, and his birthday was on Saturday, and he's from Fenton, Missouri. So he's a Missouri boy back in his home state. But incredible power numbers, 740 slugging. I know it was on the lower level with Wingate, but pretty good power numbers there at 87 RBIs, 26 homers in 59 games. You'll see how that kind of translates for the Tigers, but walk numbers a little low. Strikeout numbers probably around where you'd expect them with 43. I kind of like it right now. Yeah, I want to see how that kind of translates, but power numbers are eye-popping.
Yeah, and I mean, college baseball is not like college football and stuff. There are good players at a lot of different levels. I mean, you see teams go into NAIA ranks and pluck arms from there if they have good pitches. I mean, so I wouldn't be thrown by the Division II competition, really. I mean, a couple of years ago, Kentucky was going to add Hayden McGeary, who was coming from the Colorado School of Mines before he got drafted. So this is something SEC teams do all the time. I'm sure his numbers in him being in the summer league in general kind of caught the attention of a lot of higher level coaches. I wouldn't even necessarily say he's not going to play summer ball. He might not, but there are guys who go to summer ball in the second halves of seasons. It happens in the Northwoods League. Obviously, he's not in the Northwoods League, but it does happen. So he might go there, he might not. But either way, like Kenny touched on, the power numbers are pretty incredible here, even in summer league. I mean, he slugged .529, so definitely there definitely seems to be a lot to work with there.
He was a All-American at the D2 level as well. Looking into some of these awards, D2 second team, but first team All-American honors. So that's pretty good on the level he was at. He also pitched, not very well. If you're looking at the YouTube right now, he pitched 5 innings last season, posted 7.2 ERA, had 7 strikeouts, but 6 walks, and gave up 5 hits, 4 runs.
Would not anticipate him continuing to pitch.
Yeah,
I like that he can
got an
try his
arm.
hand. If there's like a shortage, there's a million injuries. So these sound like 2 good additions. This makes up for the quick hit segment we did on baseball last time. Maybe Carrick heard it and was like, I got to bring some positivity, bring a couple transfers.
Hey, it's not Carrick Jackson's fault.
It's a good point.
Believe you me, the issues with the program transcend him.
Administration. Nice. So there you go. 2 additions, a Missouri guy coming home and Sean Barnett, and Pierre Seals coming back from Memphis. Unfortunately, he didn't play with Carrick. That would have been a fun connection, but that's all right. Good baseball discussion. Good Mizzou discussion, boys. Let's finish up the show with quick hits. Okay, quick hits time. We're starting with Ken's sports shorts, and I am delighted to not see Sporkle on my screen. Kenny, what is this Ken sports shorts? This looks kind of fun. Explain to the listeners, not on the YouTube.
We've used every Sporkle quiz that is still correct or
Thank God.
functioning for Mizzou athletics. So I found this one on Saturday Down South, which is a SEC website, just a sports or college sports website. And it's Mizzou football history quiz. Mizzou, and then the title is Missouri football history quiz. How well do you know the Tigers? This is going to be a lot of fun because it was made 9 years ago, and you guys have to think about Mizzou football before 9 years ago. And I think it'll be fun. I'm gonna read the questions. There's 10 of them. There's no time, but let's make it kind of quick so we don't waste people's time listening to it.
We need a Mizzou football recent history quiz. We need
Not
Kelly
many
Barnett
out there.
era and after.
Well,
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay, just remember this is 2015. That
Okay.
we're going back in time. We're 14
Okay.
and 15-year-olds taking this quiz. Gary Pinkel's Missouri teams have won at least 10 games, including bowl game. How many times since he became head coach?
Okay.
3,
12,
4, 5, 6, 8. Are the
12,
13.
13, or not 12 explicitly, but 13, 14, like both those are both on there, and 07. That's
Okay.
3 for sure.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
right.
there
Another one in there. But like in 08, what did they go?
Right.
Like, did they win
I
8?
feel like
Did they win 9 or more?
Yeah, 10 games is a lot. I feel like 4 is a safe answer because we know 3 and maybe there was one more in there.
But I know they did not do it before like 07. Because
Right,
like
but
their
maybe they
best
just
year
stuck-
was like a win over Northwestern. Or you know what? I think it is just 3, to be honest with you.
Okay, we can go with 3.
Wait,
That's
no.
fine. Oh.
No, I think
we
it is
should go
4. I think it's 4.
I think we should go
because
4.
I think Blaine Gabbert won 10.
Yeah, I think there's one more in there. All right.
Moving on. Question
Dan
2.
Devine.
Okay, I need to ask a question. People
Let him
on
ask the question.
on the
You are so
podcast
bad at
cannot see this. The last Missouri head coach to lead the Tigers to a conference championship was?
It's either Don Farrow, Dan Devine, Gary Pinkel, Larry Smith, or Al.
Onofrio?
Not that guy. It's Dan Devine. 'Cause
It's not
Gary
Dan
Pinkel-
Devine.
I think it's Dan Devine.
Wasn't it?
2015.
Oh, to lead them to win,
What is a
or
conference
or
championship
just
mean?
making it.
I think it's just to a conference championship.
Well, then it would be Gary Pinkel, but if it's a win, then it's Dan Devine.
I think we're gonna get screwed by the wording here. I feel like most people think just saying they don't think to say conference championship win, which is like what you have to say to
Yeah.
clarify. But that's all right.
And we'll go
All-time
Devine.
Sorry.
The
If
all-time
I'm wrong,
winningest
I'll
head
tell him
coach
that.
for the Missouri Tigers is Don Farrow, Dan Devine, Gary Pinkel, Larry Smith, or Al Onofrio.
Isn't
I
it-
want to say Don Farrow, to be
yeah,
honest,
isn't that
but
not
I
Don
don't
Farrow?
really,
Is the statue?
because Dan Devine left. I don't think. Maybe it was Gary
Bold
Pinkel.
question, because this one's no longer accurate, right, Kenny? The number 4.
Yes, it's not. It's no longer accurate.
Really?
Who is the all-time career passing yards leader for the Missouri Tigers? Chase Daniel, James Franklin, Brad Smith, Blaine Gabbert, or Jeff Handy?
So this is
crap.
where it's fun because it's like at the time.
This is hard. I don't know who Drew
I feel like it's
Lock-
Chase Daniel.
I think it probably has to be because Blaine Gabbert didn't play enough years.
Even
And
though
then
now
I don't.
is Brady Cook close?
I have no idea. He has to. I mean, he's top 10 for sure at this point, but he's not on there. So moving on.
Lock threw a lot of passing for a lot of yards.
Gary Pinkel's Missouri teams have played in how many conference championship games? 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6?
Okay, so
And this is why I think the answer to the one earlier is Dan Devine, because they wouldn't give you this question because that would give you the answer to that one. So obviously 07, they made it in 07 and 08, I believe.
yeah, did they play Auburn and no? Sorry,
Well, those two
I think it's
also
4.
Auburn and Alabama. I think it is
Auburn and Alabama, and then
because I don't think they made it in 09 or 10 or anything.
Don't say the answer, Peyton.
The infamous 5th down game in 1990 was played against which team? Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa State, Oklahoma, or the answer, Colorado?
Yeah, it number 1 Colorado.
I think I knew that one before I even went to Mizzou.
Yeah.
Legendary Missouri coach Don Fro is credited with inventing what? The wishbone, the I formation, the nickel defense, or the split T offense?
Dang it.
I don't know.
Because I've read his Wikipedia and it's not the wishbone.
Yeah, it's not the wishbone. I'm thinking nickel defense, low key.
I'm kind of thinking I formation because split T I think was already a thing.
Go for it.
I think it's one of the middle two. I don't know
We need
which.
to use our 50-50. Kenny, you're the decider.
I feel like the I formation was just how they played. Like, it's just something that came to
All
be.
the time. It maybe invented the name.
I mean, they were running like the wing T and stuff back in the 40s. Farrell coached in like the 60s, so it could be either.
I kind of remember split T offense because when I was on the beat, like I don't know if I read it somewhere. Sobel mentioned Jack Sobel, friend of the show, covers Notre Dame football. I think he like told me about this, so I think it's split T.
Then go with that if you remember that. That's the most concrete thing we have. Next.
Yeah, I think he was a running back, so I kind of like the I formation one, but I believe it's split T. Okay,
I'm fine with that.
What year was the Kansas versus Missouri game that is called by some to be the first ever homecoming game? 1905, 1911, 1923, 1929, or 1931?
I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah, I'm leaning 29. That's just a number.
I'm going to 29.
What were you thinking?
I know the story behind it. It was like a dean was like telling people to quote come home, and that's like how it started. I don't remember the exact date, but if you two are that confident in 29, go with 29.
What number did you think?
11.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was 11 because I feel like now I feel like I remember seeing like a painting.
I'm trying to think of like memorabilia I would see around campus, but all I can remember is
I think
like
he's right.
1839.
Yeah, 1839 is the.
I don't know this one.
The Rock in the North End Zone at Memorial Stadium was created in what year? 1913, 1927, 1938, 1955, or 1960?
Okay, I think it's 60. I think I remember 60.
They didn't know how to make that shit before then.
I feel like it's older, but that's okay. We can go with 60.
It might be older. I don't know.
Oh, this is easy.
In what season of the BCS era did Missouri beat Kansas and jump to number 1 in the BCS poll following the win? 2004, 2006, 2007, 2008, or 2012?
2007.
Cool putting 07 and 08 together like that, but it is 07.
All right, we will finish. Wouldn't it be so funny if this link doesn't work anymore and we don't get the answers? Okay, we got our answers back. We got the first question wrong. Gary Pinkel has had 5 seasons with at least 10 wins.
Did he win 10 with Brad Smith?
The all-time winningest head coach for the Missouri Tigers is Gary Pinkel. We put Don Farrow. I guess that was his last season, 2015.
Yeah. We got
And the
most
Rock
of it.
M in the north end zone was created in 1927.
Wow, Kenny, you were right. That was way.
Good job,
over.
Kenny.
There's photos of it where it just looks like just torn apart in black and white. So that's why
I'm
I thought
not
it
gonna
was
lie.
older.
You could show me a photo from 1930 next to one from 1960. There's a solid chance I wouldn't know the difference.
Oh my gosh.
They all
color-
are the same garbage to me, unless they're black
When
and
did
white.
colored photography start?
They were painting photos back then too in the
That's a good
20s.
point. That's a good point.
Painted Rock M.
Okay.
Wait, go back up. I want to. What was the other one we missed? Okay, that one, and then Pinkle. What was there one right below that? Okay, no.
got 'em all right.
Okay, so we got 7. I mean,
We
that's
did
pretty
good.
solid. I'm
Considering
cool
we
with
were
7.
14 and none of us lived in Missouri at the time of.
I
this
didn't
quiz
know what
being made.
Mizzou was until I looked at the TV one time and they were playing Alabama in the SEC title game. I was like,
SEC.
why is Alabama playing Missouri?
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Segueing. What have we got? I forget. Why am I blanking? Dirty Birds of the weekend. Kenny, Dirty Bird.
I don't know if you guys have seen Pete Fairbanks' like press conferences, but he has like one of these like every season where he's just unintentionally hilarious because he just like gets really angry about things. And this is a quote like from the Bally Sports broadcast. I absolutely destroyed a few things in the cage, then regrouped, and we got it done. Look, let's just say that I owe the Minnesota Twins visiting cage a new IKEA stool. You just, I don't know. Of course, Pete Fairbanks went to Mizzou. Connection is that he was Down East Wood Duck in the Texas Rangers system, which was the first team he was a part of before joining the Rays. I don't know. I just think he's hilarious. He has a Funko Pop in his locker behind him. I don't know. Also, Down East Wood Ducks won't be a team next year.
Oh.
What? What's happening to them?
Well, first off, they're called the Down East Wood Ducks. They're not in Down East one of the Carolinas. They're in the West Side, so that really didn't fit. But they're getting a rebrand.
Oh, that is awful. I hate that. But
Bummer.
Pete Fairbanks definitely is funny. I mean, he had one earlier this year that was really funny too that I don't remember. But yeah, good Dirty Bird, true son.
This is like what I do, you know, when something makes me mad and I haven't eaten, like I get really hangry, and I feel like this is how I talk, where like you can just tell he's ready to just like explode, or he's either like gotten all his anger out and it's just like the recovery. But it is funny. Shout out. And a true son as well.
The Down East Wood Ducks. This is actually for the 2025 season, so there's still so next season they will be the Hub City Spartanburgers in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Whatever, man. That sucks.
That is good. All right, Peyton, Dirty Bird.
My Dirty Bird of the week, and it's really going to be a main bird. It's going to be the PGA Tour's Cameron Young. Cameron Young made history. He shot the first 59 round of 59 in 4 years, the 13th ever on the PGA Tour at the Travelers Championship this weekend. It's a magical number to see a sub 60 in golf. Really, really just hard to do when you think about it, like just how well you have to play. This is actually going to be a Peyton Sports short, like minuscule. Guys, according to Wikipedia's lowest rounds of golf's Wikipedia page, there had the lowest officially recorded round of golf is what?
Well, Donald Trump did like a 52
Oh,
once.
A what?
He shot like a 52 once.
That is not recognized by this Wikipedia page.
I don't think anyone recognized it except his Twitter page. I saw him tweet about it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Is it sub 50?
51.
It is not sub 50.
53.
51.
Kenny is closest. It is a 55. It was shot. It's actually been shot twice, like officially recorded twice by Rain Gibson. Pretty much more of it was just kind of not like, and these were not in competitive settings. They were just these two guys going out and like hitting the ball like on a course.
Well, that doesn't count.
was-
No pressure.
No, they do count. They do count. These count
Were
as
there
the lowest
mulligans?
round, because
Feels
they're
pretty Mickey
signed
Mouse to
cards
me.
and everything. And they had people vouch for them. So Rain Gibson shot one at River Oaks Golf Club in Edmond, Oklahoma in 2012. And in 2020, Alexander Hughes shot a 55 in Jenks, Oklahoma. So yeah, Oklahoma is a 55 hotbed.
Edmond, Oklahoma, I believe the hometown of Trent Pierce. I think.
Might
No,
be.
he's from Oklahoma.
He went to like Compass Academy or whatever in Arizona.
Yeah, AZ Compass Prep. Nice. Not a dirty bird, but it's fun to recognize. The dirty bird is the
the
course,
bird
'cause-
connection. He hit a lot of birdies and eagles.
There you go. The bird connection. The dirty bird's the course because it let him hit a 59. He dominated the course.
Man.
He has the MLB logo on his collar.
Does he really?
Yeah.
Kind of look kind
He
of.
sure does. He
Yep,
sure
that
does.
is the MLB logo.
It's random. Want to play baseball. All right. My dirty bird of the week. We're going to the NBA. My dirty bird of the week is JJ Redick. JJ Redick, I believe this was since we recorded last. The timeline's like all messed up in my head. But yeah, he took the head coach of the Lakers job, so that finally happened. And first of all, my dirty bird. I like new term. My bird connection to JJ Redick. He once said that Larry Bird was not a top 5 3-point shooter of all time, and Larry Bird got really mad at him. There's your bird connection. But yeah, he's the Lakers head coach now. Taking over a Lakers job with as much prior coaching experience as me, Peyton, and Kenny all have combined. Pretty crazy stuff.
I coached a rec basketball team once for a couple games.
So Kenny is more
I coached a
qualified.
rec basketball team for 2 seasons.
All right. So Kenny and Peyton are far more qualified than JJ Redick to be the Lakers head coach, is what it sounds like.
Not really. I just kind of pointed and like would tell people, "Hey, you could probably go in right now."
And swore immensely. He was thrown out of every game. JJ Redick, I did see a thing. I think it was he was compared with another coach who doesn't have a job right now, and it was like amount of finals experience and years of coaching, and it just makes the hire all that more crazy. I feel bad saying all this because I do like JJ Redick. He's obviously a good basketball mind. He knows what he's talking about, but this will be a very interesting experiment on a Lakers team that has not been able to retain a coach for a very long time. Hey, Austin Reeves did call him a genius, so there's that. And he does a podcast with LeBron, which do we know? I didn't see anything. Is that still continuing? Do we think it should still continue?
I don't see why it wouldn't keep
Right.
continuing now.
I think it should. So, JJ Redick, I mean, good luck to you, man.
Yeah,
Good luck.
the least desirable head coaching job in the NBA. You will get 0 credit and all the blame. So, good luck, JJ.
He's got the pod with LeBron. I totally forgot about the State Farm commercial, by the way, until this was tweeted out by a couple people. Him with the coffee pot. The pick and roll is just the isosceles triangle. All right. Congrats, JJ. Let's finish with headlines. Kenny, what is your headline this week?
I couldn't find one, so I went with this tweet from the Trash Pandas. It's the Trash Pandas mascot with the 0.5 on his face. The Trash Pandas are the AA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels. They play in Alabama, Rocket City. Is anybody going to match his freak? And it's the Trash Pandas mascot. It's a kind of there's a song that's going around on TikTok for those who don't know. It's talking about a girl that says like, "You're going to match my freak."
It's also an actual song.
Yeah, it's
Kenny-
just
Kenny's
the
songs don't
the
just
reason
use it for
people know
TikTok.
it is because it's popular on TikTok. And the same thing, the Midland Rockhounds joined in, double it and give it to the next person, and posted this photo of both of their mascots with the 0.5 on. The Rocket City Trash Pandas replied, "Midland Freakhounds, TBH." These teams are on one. AA affiliates are crazy on social media.
I really enjoy that interns who are our age and just TikTok obsessed are allowed to run these small time baseball social media accounts. It makes for some spectacular content.
The funny thing is, most of the time they aren't always interns. They're just
Regular
employees
people.
of the team that just are on social media a lot, so they know how to get people to engage.
It worked for the unwritten rule.
Midland Freakhounds, to be honest. Oh,
Going on.
man.
Good headline, Kenny. Peyton, what's your headline?
My headline, it's just going to be a quick one. The Rockies, the Colorado Rockies, won a baseball game on a walk-off, bases loaded, pitch clock violation. Kyle Finnegan, the Nationals closer, he in a 3-2 count, just took too long to deliver his pitch, got given the automatic ball that gave the Rockies a walk-off win. I'm almost certain this has not happened since this rule was instituted. Probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. The bases were loaded with nobody out. You'd like to think the Rockies would have had someone come through there. But yeah, that is, I haven't seen this before, so just kind of a neat thing.
Did they try to do a Gatorade dump for a regular season win that they won for a pitch clock violation?
Yeah, it's a walk-off.
Yeah, you always do that.
That's fair. I don't know tradition.
It is the
first game decided.
Yeah, Major League history.
That is just dandy.
That's so unfortunate. That's worse. Is that worse than a balk? Do you think a balk to have that happen?
Yeah, because balks can be accidental. Most of the time they are accidental. This is just like not getting the pitch off in time, which is worse.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. Tough. Hopefully this happens to Texas A&M in the College World Series, and they lose. Tennessee ties that up at the time of recording, anyway. My headline of the week reads as follows. Once I load the thing, or Kenny probably pulled it up. Tulane's football's cheapest beer ad fires up social media. This is a follow-up to the best thing I learned from last show, where there was that graphic of beer and everyone was showing the stadium prices. College football teams decided to run away with this trend. Tulane started it because they were in that tier with the cheapest one. So they said they had the cheapest beer, and then Louisiana Lafayette corrected them. They said they had the cheapest beer. So there was beer wars going on. We had all sorts of quote tweets.
A nice little snipe from UL Lafayette. They advertised their tickets versus Tulane.
There you go. Get your season tickets now at Tulane. Yeah, September 21st if you want to go. But yeah, this sparked a bunch of teams were tweeting about it, including Mizzou, who basically just tweeted that we have beer, buy our tickets.
Old beer.
It's like pretty much their only contribution.
This one made Sports Center.
Did it make Sports Center?
Yep. I was watching Sports Center, and that good old Sailor Tiger glass.
That beer glass, though.
Mm-hmm.
I want that in my home. A little Sailor Tiger on the beer glass.
It's pretty fire.
It's pretty fire. There were some good ones. BYU did it with chocolate milk because they put like come sober because it's BYU. Kind of lame. Another school did it with water, like a small program. I don't remember what school. I know Texas Tech did it with tortillas because they throw those
on the field.
Someone did it with nachos. So I admire them getting creative. I'm glad Mizzou got in on it too. Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah.
A lot of
Missouri
beer.
made Sports Center. That's basically, you can say this was a win-win for the social media intern. People were not happy with Mizzou tweeting this in the comments, but the social media intern /employee does not control the beer price.
This is the first time I've seen a tweet from Mizzou Feed Media that doesn't make me go, hell yeah. I would pipe down Mr. $13 Bud Light bottles.
Mizzou got on Sports Center. I don't know what they want.
It is kind of expensive at Furrow, but that's okay. All right. That's my headline. Well, maybe next week I'll have another follow-up with more beer-related content from college football teams. Anyway, Peyton?
This one comes from our favorite TV series, The Today Show. Guys, I'm going to stick with golf here. This is an easy one. You should get this. I almost read the wrong one. Why did the golfer bring 2 pairs of pants? This is a classic.
He had a hole in one of them.
Yup. Just in case he got a hole in one. There you go. Kenny Van Doren. For someone that used to run away from these segments, you're pretty locked in.
I think he's broken. I think you've broken him. Is what's happened.
Kenny, can you pull up a photo of Al Roker?
Yeah.
All right. That'll do it for the show. Don't look up Al Roker White House. Hope you guys all enjoyed. We will be back on Friday, hopefully with some more recruiting, maybe some more fun quick hits. And till that time, take it easy. Enjoy the week. We'll see you on Friday.